Let's have a little talk about magic protection for beginners. Now, this is part of a new kind of thing that I'm doing on this channel, which is trying to come up with the things that anybody that's just stepping into magic might want to, or actually should, know and should practice and should do. Because if you don't kind of dot your I's and cross your T's at a beginner's level, you're gonna have a bad time. Magic is kind of like math in that you gotta know and be experienced with the building blocks of stuff before you get into the big things. So one of those things is protection. So I do have I think one or two videos, or maybe even three on various different modalities of circle casting, and there's plenty of information on there and tons of witchcrafty books, um, like the ones I have above, do talk a lot about circle casting, and that of course is creating a barrier around your ritual space. So if you're a beginner, you might want to do it with a physical representation if you're not skilled or proficient or haven't practiced a lot of visualization yet. And I actually encourage beginners to do the circle castings with physical objects. Now you can do like a line of salt, and as you know, salt has a long history of being associated with protection. You can use flour, or it could also be a part of your ritual space. So like upstairs in my living room, I have a giant circle-shaped rug. So when I do a ritual in there, I put my barrier through intention and visualization and thought at the edge of that circle rug. And what that does is it's got that physical anchor of the surrounding of the rug, of the perimeter of the rug, to be my ritual space. That's my circle. That is my barrier. So nothing can cross that barrier. So that's one thing. The other thing is you got to believe in what you do. Now this doesn't come at first, where you're trying something new, you're not exactly sure about it, and you just gotta trust it and go with it. A lot of people when they start out, they don't have a lot of confidence, where they play around with things like Ghost Adventures, playing around with the Necronomicon. You are stepping into something that is new, that is that can be kind of volatile a little bit, and I think that's the wrong word that I want to use, but let me try to explain that a little bit. Magic is a way of doing things that's unlike any other way of doing things. I mean, we're manipulating energies, and we are in communication with things that are not of this plane, and that can be a little bit spooky. There's so many tales of people when they start off working with magic where they have an experience that scares them and they never touch it again. When you start working with magic, you are going to attract things because there are lesser beings that feed off of that energy. It's like flies to a lamp. It's like moths to a lamp. And what you got to understand is they are just flies and they are just moths. Are they annoying? Yes. Are they going to hurt you? No. Caveat. If you feed into that fear, like, oh God, what was that? And then you're afraid every time that you step into ritual, or you don't do rituals anymore. When you start magic, you're setting off a beacon, right? You're like, I'm playing around with this energy stuff. It's like you flip a switch. You tune in that radio frequency. You are communicating over a radio. Anyone else that's tuned into that frequency can hear you, and just because you do it that one time doesn't mean you go ghost, right? You are then, you kind of have a little bit of an icon over your head where, hey, I see them now, kind of, as what, like, for lack of a better phrase, what the entities see and hear is they see that you're now visible to them. They can kind of sense you because you tapped into that stuff. So when you go about the circle protection, you got to believe in what you are doing. When you work in a ritual space, you got to know and have confidence that you are safe. A lot of it is your feelings and your energy and your emotional state. There was this one funny meme that I read where it was if you hear a bump in the night, if something makes a noise in the middle of the night, make a louder noise to assert dominance. And as funny as that is also very true. So something shifts something in your house, right? Or like you're doing a ritual and you hear a thud, you know, you can acknowledge that something happened to like make its presence known in the space, and you can be like, "Hi, I know that you're here. You stay on your side, I'll stay on my side. You're welcome to watch, but the second you try to do anything funny with me, you're gone. So this is my space, not yours." And um, you got to have confidence and belief in what you're doing in terms of staying safe. Now, there's other means of protection, and of course, you really got to practice meditation and visualization too, because you're building your skills. Because what meditation does is it allows you to focus, and what visualization does is it allows you to move your energy in the way that you want it. Now, when I first started with Magick, learning about it way back in like 2007, right? I remember having chit chats, and I was like, "So magical energy, right? Like, can you see it?" And the response I got is, "Not exactly." And that's true, because you can't like see it per se, but with what's called imposition, where you teach your mind what to see, kind of, where like I'm looking at like my pool table and the chair and stuff, but when I'm manipulating energy, I feel it because I know what I'm doing and I know it's there, and I trick my brain into sensing it and seeing it. So like when I cast a circle, I see the energy flowing out of my implement or my hands or whatever, and I command it to be a certain color and stuff like that. So when you practice a lot with the meditation and visualization, what you find is that your casting of a circle can be strong and vibrant and very, very, very real, for lack of a better term. It can seem just as solid as the chair you sit in, or any of the tools on your altar table, or any of the, even the candles or anything like that. And one thing that really helps to kind of trick your mind into that kind of thing is having dim lights in your ritual along with candles, because your mind's trying to kind of make up what it's seeing because nothing's really solid, and it's a really easy way to trick your mind into that kind of thing. Okay, so another thing about the protection stuff, with Kirlian photography and whatnot, we know that auras exist, and it's even proven by like medical science, where we have an electromagnetic field thanks to the electricity that's running our bodies that extends out, and that is kind of what we manipulate and what we use. Um, and we can, through imagination, intention, and visualization, harden and make more solid that field, that aura, right? So you can sit in meditation and you can kind of picture yourself, and it really helps me to kind of see myself in a third person point of view, as if I have a camera facing me, right? And I see my aura as a clear bubble, and I visualize it getting thicker and harder, and even it being reflective and shiny, because that makes it hard like glass. And I know, because of my confidence, that nothing can penetrate that. Now, what can this do? It can protect you from different entities trying to feed off of your energy, because there are things all around us all the time. There are entities that are passing through that go by us, and even other people who are like energy vampires, for lack of a better term. As an introvert and an empath, I kind of know that when I am around certain people, that they my interactions with them drain me, because they're sucking energy off of me, right? You ever like talk with somebody and you feel absolutely drained after, regardless if it's a natural, like normal conversation or a fight? That's because there's an energy exchange when you are um, interacting with someone else. And when you practice visualizing your own energy field as being hard as a rock, and knowing that no one else can take your energy, then guess what? It's not going to happen. That is another way of protecting yourself. Now, visualization wise, you can cast a circle and stuff. I already talked about that. Another thing that you can do for protection, especially when you are doing rituals and whatnot is to ward up your house. Now, what is this? You can make witch bottles, which are full of, you know, iron nails, spicy things, and even you can put sigils in there. Basically, anything spicy, like peppers and any other and like peppers, and any other kind of spices and sigils and iron nails and different things, iron shavings, metal shavings, and those things, like, nobody wants to go near a spicy thing, right? Spicy things kind of hurt, right? Unless you love spice, but you're getting the idea here. Those things can be focal points that you can pour your energy into, where it's a thing that when you put enough energy into it, it sends off the back off kind of signal, and you can put them around your house, mainly at like the four corners and stuff. You can even bury them outside of your property, and those kind of scare off different things. It's like a citronella candle to mosquitoes. But in terms of wards, the way that you visualize a circle, you visualize that on your home. So you can do that with the walls. You can even make a giant circle around your house. And the more often you do this, the better and the stronger it gets. And after a while, you can program it to, like, turn on almost like a security alarm by hitting a code. After you practice the hard part of visualizing every single inch of your house being protected, you can tie that in with a trigger, like a finger snap. And then, because your mind works with associations, and the mind is the vehicle through which we manipulate all of our magic, then you can snap your fingers and boom, your ward is up. So you can do it physically and then snap your fingers at the end of it, and then you can boil that down to visualizing it and then snapping your fingers at the end of it, and eventually all you have to do is snap your fingers and boom, your ward is up. Man, my fingers hurt after doing so many snaps. So I talked about like the circles and the personal barrier and the wards. And the other thing is, when you can come up with phrases or even read books like there's a book of pagan prayer, and there's some protection prayers in there. There's plenty of books that have protection prayers in there, and a lot of them rhyme. And as cheesy as it is, rhyming is very easy for us to remember. It flows easy, and that's why it makes those kinds of things easy. And the more often that you do something that someone else wrote, the more personal it becomes to you, and then eventually you can make your own protection-y kinds of chants that you can use whenever you feel scared, when you are doing when you're doing a circle casting, whenever you're doing a particular spell, or if you're out and about and you sense something kind of weird. Because the key is to practice something so it becomes ingrained and it becomes automatic and it becomes rote, and then those things can just oomph when you command them to, because it's a shortcut for your energy to do something to protect you. I'm trying to think of anything else in terms of magical protection, but I might make a second one to this video if I can think of anything else. So let me know what you guys think about magical protection, if you guys want me to talk about anything else in terms of magical protection. Like, maybe I could do something on how to make a witch bottle, which I made one a while ago. God, a good couple of years ago. I know exactly where it is too, but you don't, and that's the point. Another thing about witch bottles, keep them hidden. And don't tell anybody that they're there. But anyway, this has been Magical Protection, some tips, tricks, and traps for beginners. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You can always shoot me an email. All that info to my social media and all that other stuff you can find down below and at the end of this video. And definitely check out any of my magic books and my new fantasy novel. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.